So we're stood on the bridge between K1 and the island. I've seen a few down here, right in the edge. Keep drifting in and out. There's a group of about, well, I counted 11. Mainly smaller ones, but two of them look like they could be anything as high as mid-30s, which would do me. Put a handful of corn down on a spot down there, hoping that, see if they're willing to feed, but they saw me do it and they've all buggered off. But they'll be back, I hope. Now, if you can see them. I've only got my phone with me, which is a bit rubbish. Two of the smaller ones are down there. You can probably smell it. This closer one is looking a little bit interested. Possibly. There's also a couple of clonking great pike down there as well. I don't know if you can see them. There's one there. Oh. One of them carp that just went under that bush, just rolled under there. I heard him. There's one over there. Coming into the zone. Yeah, he knows it's there now. Is he going to drop on it? No. Oh. Shied away. But he ain't gone far, has he? Let's nudge that pike. Where's the rest of them gone? They're blatantly avoiding that. What's the matter with these fish? Almost like they're scared of bait. Well, it's a slightly better one deep down there. Not the one, the more obvious one, the one that's now coming in behind him. Yeah, it's a deeper fish, that is. Yeah, definitely a better one. It's a fully, I think. I've not seen him yet, so there obviously are more about than you think. They're all going behind that little bit of fence down there, and there's one down there now coming out, and then they're going under that bush. And then they're coming down here to the fence, but that's only because they can smell. I don't know if I see them, but the K1 fish can get up against the fence as well, and they're just smelling each other. There's herds of them on that side of the fence. Absolutely boatloads of them. That's a monster, that one down there. They just want to be together. See if we can see any of these K1 ones. They put a fence down there to stop the use of today spinning off the bridge and foul looking them. Right, let's go and have a look. Right, we've decided we're going to have a go for them. Could have not loaded the boat at the boat ramp, just driven to there. But we didn't know at the time where we were going. It looks prime, doesn't it? So my only drawback is obviously I'm fishing this lake for big fish. I think the biggest one out of that group's about mid-30, a couple of them. But what else do you do? Can't walk away from a group of sort of a dozen fish, can you? Can you? I don't know. It used to be indecisive, but now I'm not too sure. Well, looky here. You know the score. You know the maths. 3 minus 1. In that net hanging off the back of that boat, we have a mirror cod. Well, say cod. More like mirror whiting. No, I don't know, it's a 20 pounder. I was literally just stood there by the rods thinking, it looks bang on for a day bite. I saw one roll by the bridge and I've seen the route they're taking, when we was up there earlier. Boom, away it went. Tip wrenched up and we was in. Had a proper mission with the weed. About from where that calm water goes to ripple out there, that's where the weed starts, and then from then in it's pretty much nearly to the surface, like eel grass and a bit of Canadian on the bottom. So the first bit of the fight's easy enough, but then it was just solid, and it was right underneath the other line, right underneath that left hand line. I could see the line just under the surface, and the fish wouldn't come out from underneath it. So it was a bit of a game, but we won the game. So let's get him up, see what we got. Okay, the light's not brilliant, but here we go. 20 pound male. Obviously this time of year, as lively as you like, but he's actually behaving as it goes. Oh, here comes the sun just to ruin it all. But here we go, we get the rough idea. And here comes a plane as well. Joys of filming under Heathrow flight path on a half sunny, half cloudy day. Well, I reckon I've just about got that out in time. I was out there in the boat just then. I was going to GoPro it, and I turned my GoPro on and it flashed up insert SIM card. My SIM card is sat on my desk at home. Anyway, I was out there just dropping the bait and I looked up and that lot just came over. I don't know whether that cloud's going to break or not, but if it does, it's going to slash down. But there we go, a 20 pound carp on the bank in the middle of the afternoon. Or lunchtime. Here comes the wind. So they're out there, aren't they? Well, we knew they were out there anyway, we've seen them. But they're willing to feed as well. So that was one of the smaller ones we see this morning. Now we want one of them bigger two, mid-30s. Here she comes. As I said, just in time. Just had a monstrous clap of thunder. It is carpy weather though, isn't it? don't know if it's actually late May weather, but it's definitely carpy weather. And you might notice something else that's conspicuous by its absence today. We had a refusal at the first fence. Madalena, 4 o'clock this morning, just said no. I put a collar on her and she ran straight upstairs and jumped into bed with the missus and wouldn't get out. She absolutely refused. Oh God, we've got hailstones now. Yeah, she absolutely refused to come fishing. Well, I don't blame her in this weather. Ain't a lot for a dog to do. I can sit in a bivvy. She gets very, very bored. So I'm all on my own. Well, no more bites as yet, which is, I might be a bit greedy, wanting more than one in a day, but once you've had a day bite in a spot like that, you can't see any reason why not to get another one. Unless, of course, they've all buggered off. Anyway, it's going to be dinner time, and I've done, look, I know it may not look clean to you lot, but to me it's spotless. I bleached all the ingredients, that's not the word, components of the cob, and I tried scrubbing them, but this stuff's glued on. And then I put them in the dishwasher when the missus was out. It's still filthy, but it's not as filthy as it was. It's less filthy. Oh, it's gone all cold again. I just looked at the calendar. I was talking to my daughter on the phone, and she said something about doing something on June the 3rd. And I said, God, you couldn't come around and fix her fence till June the 3rd. I said, that's miles away. She said, that's next week, Dad. I was like, it is. It's June the 1st in 6 days' time, and it's bloody freezing. I've got 2 sweatshirts on. Use the briquettes rather than them expensive rings, and just stick that on the cooker just to get it red, and then chuck it in. But you must never do it indoors because the fumes are absolutely deadly. So while we're waiting for them to get red, we'll have some deadly fumes of our own and roll a fag. How about that for double standards? I don't want to be bloody cold, sat in a bivvy. I want to be sat out there, laid out on some grass, in a pair of shorts, no shirt, getting a bronzy on. Like you should be at this time of year. Well, I've been wrestling with not moving all day. I know I've caught one. I only got here this morning. Got the rods out about 9. I had a fish by 12. By 2 I wanted to move. I've seen 3 or 4 in a swim just over. I'm fishing at that headland over there, sort of bank. And as it goes round the headland, if you like, the bend, I've seen 3 or 4 out. So in the end side swim on the island, fishing across to the same lump of land I'm fishing at, but further round the corner. There's definitely some fish out there in that channel where it goes through. I'll show you. You don't want to sit there watching me smoking, do you? I'd much rather watch the pond, I know. Might have to do a little bit of adjustment for levels and light and shit. Well, quite a lot of adjustment by the look of that. Hold on a sec, let's get you less bright. No, wrong way, Laney. There we go, that's looking better. Oh, it's too dark. I ain't got my glasses on, so I can't really see. Oh, forgot about them coals on the cob. It's smoking away like a bugger it is. Trying to do too much at once, that's the problem. Yeah, so I'm fishing over there, along that bit where there is fish. There's the bridge, obviously, over here. But if you go round the corner to that way, the last bush that sticks out, just past that, probably in line with them, at left hand of them two, well, between them two trees, just off that bank a few yards. I've seen a few shows, a couple of three or whatever. So that's a channel, and that there, as you can see, a swim there. But just around the back of that bush behind that swim is another one that fishes across to here. And that's where I'm thinking of moving. I'm going to leave it till the morning. Do at least one night in a swim. I mean, there's every chance of another bite. I think what's putting me off a little bit is that most of them were smaller fish I saw, but two of them were half decent. So what delights have we got tonight then? Nothing special. Tomorrow we've got 2 sirloin steaks. Tonight I just shopped in the Co-op yesterday, so no flashy anything, just stuff I don't usually eat, ready done meal thing, well, ready to cook meals. Chicken and chorizo, and I've also got another thing there with garlic roast potatoes. I'll take the plastic off and just chuck them in the cob like that. Bosh. Got to work, innit? 2 choices. What was that? Ugh, family of ducks, that's what that was. Mrs. Duck, and she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little ones at the moment. They go down quick, don't they? There was a goose that had 4, now she's got 1. Some big old pike in here. Yeah, chicken and chorizo and garlic roast potatoes. It's quite nice actually. Chuck that in the cob for 40 minutes or whatever. Days of happiness. She's smoking up well. Look at this, day 1 and I've got socks on the dryer already. Overcooked it in my stupid little Crocs. Big fat mirror, light my fire. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Should be settled really, shouldn't I? The fish under my belt already. But really not. Not sure I ever settle. I don't think I ever actually completely sort of chill when I'm fishing. It's like I always want to be somewhere else on the lake. And as soon as I get to somewhere else, I want to be somewhere else. The only time I'm happy in one spot is when they're boshing all over me and I'm getting bites one after another, but it doesn't happen very often, does it? Just sort of think I should have had another bite. What I really need to do is go and stand on that bridge See if there's any fish still down there. But to do that means winding in, which then means putting them back out there and causing a load of disturbance. So even if I go and wind in, stand on the bridge, see fish, I'm just as likely to spook them putting the rods back out. Which would obviously be a pointless exercise. I needed someone to go and look off the bridge for me. I need a spotter. I also need some dinner. I reckon that cob's got to be hot enough now. Using the rack tonight. Oh, it's still a bit smoky, but I reckon that's it, don't you? That was easy. It'll be smoked chicken and chorizo. What's that old saying? It's a bit black over Bill's mother's. I think there's a fair bit more coming, don't you? Oh well, hopefully this will be ready before it is. Now we do it. Time for a peek. It's starting to bubble a little bit. Still got a bit to go. The rain might turn up. Cool. Spud's tastes a bit smoky. Like eating a charcoal briquette. God. Good job I've got a big pot of garlic sauce to squirt over them. Cool, they do taste a bit smoky. I've usually got silver foil to make a lid for everything, but I keep forgetting. I ran out a couple of weeks ago. Keep forgetting to put it in, and that stops you getting that. If you put it on too quick or put it on early, you get that sort of proper smoky taste. So it is a lot better with a bit of foil over it. Cool. I can see the streaks of rain up there in that sky. A bit bright. Let's darken that down so you might be able to see them. So you can see that in the darker bit at the bottom, there's actually vertical lines in it that are even blacker, and that's the rain hammering down. That's pretty, isn't it? Silver rain. Pissing it down and the sun's out. Well, apparently the fish are still over there. Just had a lad come round for a chat who was having a wander about. So I asked him to have 2 minutes on the bridge, have a peek into me swim, and he's just come back round and said that, yep, there's still fish there. So hopefully there's another bite on the cards. Be nice if it came before dark. But it probably won't, probably be in the middle of the night. I am officially bloody starving now. It seems to be taking forever, that cob today. I think it's because I put it on that little wire cage thing. It didn't cook as quick as if you put it on actually straight on the plate. Might have to make a little adjustment if it's not ready in the next 5 minutes before I starve to death. It's a big old moon up there tonight. One more night and it's full. I think actual full moon's at 7:37 AM on Wednesday morning. So morning after tomorrow's. Let's hope it brings a great big carp with it. I think it's just about to disappear behind that bloody great cloud. Well, that was a pretty uneventful night. Absolutely bugger all happened. It's about 5ish, I've been up for an hour. And I haven't really seen anything either. I've seen a couple of little dimply rolls, nothing special down the channel. That's where I'm most interested in, because I'm still obviously thinking of a possible move. I thought they'd be performing out there in that channel this morning, but they're really not yet. Although they can show quite late in the morning. I even see a couple in the sort of middle of the day out there yesterday. But you'd think at this prime time there'd be something going on. That cootie really don't like crossing my line. Because that eelgrass is almost to the surface, well, a couple of inches under the surface. It's holding the line right up on the top there. You just keep going straight up to it. It'll do a little leap in a minute and jump over it. No, giving up. Oh! Did you see him? He weren't the biggest, he weren't bad. Hard to put a weight on a fish jumping like that. Mid-20 or something. Nowhere near where my rigs are, it was a lot closer. Nice to see though. I definitely know they're still out there now. No idea why I had to buy it. So, we're moving. Obviously. I think the only question can be not why or where, but how come it's taken me so long? I feel like I've been here for days. I've been in this swim for one night, one whole night. But it feels like longer. But I've been on the bridge, I've had a look. There's no fish left. Been seeing these fish down here in the channel. And, well, we've got to go. We've got to go now. Come on. Right, we're there. We've got the rods out on the way in. We're fishing a swim we never fished before. In the channel. I fished it from that side. And I fished it from over there. I've never caught fish out of this channel, but they've definitely been here the last couple of days. The reason I've never fished it halfway through setting up is because that's it. It's absolutely tiny. It's in a cage. Finger out of the way and it all works. It's in a cage. You do some cage fighting. And it's literally, this is me at the front. 1, 2, 3 paces, and this is me at the back. Caged in, like a wild animal. Tiny. Spin that. Rod's going to go there, in the water, and I reckon we're just about to get a bivvy in here. Just got to put up first so everything else can go in, because there's nowhere to unload that lot till the bivvy's up. And we've got a flooded doubled little bits of planking. And that's us. Grrr. That was my tiger impression. Scared? Ha, you will be. I've got 3 in a row out here along this. It's like a ridge. It's not really a bar, like a hard ridge that runs along about 30 yards out. There's a plane coming, so I'm going to get a bivvy up and get unloaded. Snug. That's what it's called. Snug. What an estate agent called it. Homely and cosy. Never far from all amenities. Just got to fit that lot in there. So I had to put the house up first because there was no way. If I'd unloaded the boat, I wouldn't have been able to get the house up. But I fish smaller swims. Remember at St Ives fishing one where that peg and the opposite peg were both in the water in 2 different sides of the lake, because I was just fishing and spit so narrow that my bivvy didn't even fit across it. So I shouldn't moan. I'm not moaning, just pointing out that my swim is snug. Right, as I've said, it's not normally my favourite bank, this, but the fish are here. And we're just wandering right next door. There's 3 cages here. I'm in the first one, and in the second one, which is only a few yards up the bank, I've got neighbours, which makes it all a lot more bearable. In a cage as well, cage fighting. Who have we got? Who have we got?
Where he belongs, in a bloody cage, let me tell you.
We got Mozza!
Yeah, locked up. Food's behind there, go and check the food.
Well, we got, the cob's on the go, look. Oh, bless him. Second time he's cooked for me. How's he done tonight? Oh, look at that, the boy's done good. Wow. We've got like pork belly slices and a leg of lamb, or joint of lamb. Shoulder of lamb, is it? Oh, I don't care what bit it comes from, as long as it came from a lamb. Happy days. Mozza, you're turning into a bit of a cuisine god, aren't you?
Yeah, I've had good training, you see.
Gonna bag one?
I think so, mate. It feels good for it, doesn't it?
I came along here earlier and I sat here this morning before I was fishing up here with Moz, and we looked out there and a behemoth came out of the water. If I shut my eyes I can still see it, picture perfect. Little head, great big chest, big shoulders, it was a monster. It was 40 pounder when it was. Definitely, big old fish. Which is nothing to do with why I'm next door to him. Here we go. Look what we have here. Oh, try and get it in the actual doodie. I don't know how these things work. There, look at that. Yum, bloody yum. Well done, Moz.
Cheers.
Cheers.
With the mustard.
Oh no, I've got the old garlic sauce. Oh, right, you lot can bugger off. I'm going to eat. It's about 4:45. Proper light on it for 4:45. Mad. What happened in the night? I had 2 liners, one in the evening and one about 4 o'clock. The first one was a proper tip shaker, and I've seen 2 fish. 3 fish now. Yeah, 3 fish. No bites. But they're still about. A funny area, this channel. They seem to show after showing time here. If that makes any sense. They show late here. It's showing the day, which is, they don't do many other places, but others always seem to be that little bit later when they show it. But the first one I see after dark last night, that was close into my right, closer in than I'm fishing, and I'm not fishing very far out, and that was a good fish. Big old Bosch. So apart from catching one, my aim this morning is try and film you one jumping. The impossible task. Mind you, I've got plenty of batteries. And we're going to try. Oh, we got one. See him off to the right there? I wouldn't say it was a big old mirror carp sliding out the water, it was definitely a carp rolling. About twice as far as I'm fishing. Bit of cloud coming in. Still no great big jumping mirror carp though, or even common carp. Come on fish, show yourselves. I know you're out there. Or even better, just pull me string. Well, my filming them jumping didn't go so well. I was on the phone, I turned the camera off because I was on the phone to an angry mate over the other side of the lake. And 4 fish showed, all about a rod length behind my left hand cane, which is towards that bivvy on the point out there. I don't know if you can actually see the cane on this, it's a small screen to see. But yeah, just sort of to the left of the, well basically towards that bivvy, 4 fish showed. It's the same one or different ones or whatever. And I didn't get any of them on film. And now I'm recording. You know what's going to happen? Nothing. But they're still here. But just, what it is where I'm fishing is like a ridge. If you go out sideways on in a boat and look at my 3 marker canes, they're all practically in a line. It's like a seam of, it's a foot shallower, a seam of like harder ground, clearer ground, perfect for presenting a bait. And then behind that little ridge, the eelgrass starts, goes right across from behind that. And it's not thick eelgrass, but there's quite a lot of it. About a couple of foot below the surface in 12 foot of water. And that's where they're showing, just in the eelgrass. Oh. Oh. Bit of lineage, little tap on the tip. What's going on? Is there one down there feeding on my stuff? Come on. That'd be the one when that tip just cranked round now. Come on. Have a nice big bend in my new rods. Which I haven't actually mentioned yet, have I? Got my first full set of samples of the rods I've been working on for, God, it's been about 6 months now. They are absolutely beautiful. I had a fish on them, like, first 4 hours of using them, that 20 pounder, but I had a few chucks about down on that bottom bank with them as well. 40 ton woven carbon, proper slim blanks. I've got one of each test curve there. Just there's a few adjustments I've got to make to the ringing. Got those Alps real seats, which are really nice. Yeah, they're beautiful rods. Beautiful slim blanks as well. Love them. Love them even more if it went and away. Ripper McDipper. What are you lot doing? Not when you come at quackers again. He looks like he on street might bob in that one. Oh no. Well, I'm still here. I've had a few hours of wandering about and forgot to film anything, sorry. Not that there was an awful lot to film, to be honest. I'm going to do my last night, stayed in the same swim. 2 nights in a swim, again. What's going on? I'm losing it. But to be honest, I've seen more fish out here than anywhere else. We did have an occurrence, not as in a fishing thing, but there was an event happened. That's on the point there, that's changed hands, that's Gav, a friend of mine, and he phoned me and you see them 2 swans over there. Where are they? There. Well, those 2 swans have had spoiler alert, 3 chicks, whatever they are, cygnets, ickle, yellow, whitey, tiny things. Oh, tiny, about the size, nearly the size of a coot. Anyway, they was paddling past Gav and he heard a massive explosion and looked out there, and right in amongst them there was a big on the surface. The swans were going mad and there was only 2 left. A pike had come up and taken one of them, and like I say, they're fair size, nearly coot size, and apparently the female swan stuck her head under, was going mental, stabbing underwater, and then the little one popped back up, so she's obviously jabbed the pike that's let go of the little one, which has then popped up to the surface. She's then gone and looked at it, decided nope, and swum off and took the other 2 with her, and both swans and the 2 little ones, and left it alone on its own. But that's nature, and it's brutal. Obviously thought you ain't gonna survive, and it's went off into the bushes over there opposite. And so I was on the phone. Gav told me I was on the phone. I said I can see it. You know, it's just paddled in under this certain tree. So he went round there and got in and fished it out. And he said it was just sort of still alive, but on its proper last legs. And he picked it out and wrapped it in a little towel and that, and it just died straight away. So obviously Mummy Swan knew that there was no hope, and it had puncture wounds in its stomach, and that had probably been tagged by this big old pike. But yeah, they just dumped it. Just had one look and thought, nah, you're a goner. And went about their business. There you go. Bit of an Attenborough moment. But apart from that, not a lot's happened. I've just seen my first fish since, much earlier on. in front of me again, but a lot further over. Not a big, and it seems to be, I think, that over there in that sort of white flossy water at the back, there's a group of smaller ones, and then the ones I see over here are generally better ones. And those 4 or 5 that came out that I failed to film for you this morning, they were quite good. They're not monsters, but they were quite good fish. So I think I'm on the right side of the pond for a good. Anyway, cob is on. The state of my swim. There's nowhere to put anything here, it's so small. We've got no shoulder or lamb or anything tonight, but we do have a couple of sirloin steaks and a corn on the cob, which is already in there. Silver foil with butter and black pepper. A bit of garlic sauce, a bit strongbow. That's tonight's tea, sorted. Forecast is for it to drop dead flat calm. This is the very last of the wind. It's gone northerly, which would be exciting because it's been northerly for a while, but it's only a few hours, not too heavy, not too strong, and then it's going to die out completely. And then, ladies and gentlemen, spring's coming. Not tomorrow, but the day after. Spring will arrive. It'll be called summer by the time it gets here, but you know what I mean. Bank holiday weekend, which is coming up. It's now Wednesday. I'm off tomorrow, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday it's getting warm. But I won't be fishing in that. I'll be sat in a pub garden maybe. That's actually a lie, I'll be filming and editing for a lot of it. But after that I'll be sat in a pub garden. Well, what glorious evening. Looks beautiful out there, doesn't it? Told you it was going to go flat calm. Certainly has. Just primed to see a big old mirror slide out of the water. Come on, you fish. One 20-pounder's really not cutting the mustard, is it? Right, I think we're going to have a cup of tea and hit the sack. These 4 AM mornings take it out of you after a while. I've had 3 on the trot. 1 to get here and 2 fishings. An early night, early to rise. Hopefully they'll do something. Right, see you lot later. Is that hot? Morning all. Well, another uneventful night in the cage. Don't know if this cage fishing is all it's cracked up to be. I slept well. That's anything. I didn't hear any in the night, but they probably have had to have landed on the bivvy roof for me to hear them last night. I was so knackered. But I have seen 1, 2, 3, 4 this morning, but none sort of on my side of the lake, of this area. They've all been in this area. 2 directly in the middle of the screen, but right over. 1 out to the left, but right over. Where was the 4th one? It was right over anyway, I can't remember exactly where it was. So there are still fish in this channel, but they're just in the eelgrass on the sort of shallower side opposite. But no liners last night. I had a couple of liners the night before. So, just a few hours left really. I was in there about 5ish. Probably 5:30. I'll be off by about... I don't know, they do show late in here, so maybe 11, 10. I've got some filming to do this afternoon at home. Got to film this week's episode for the Inner Circle. We're on Dinton Pastures Black Swan at the moment. That was a mad place, that was. I loved it up there. Fishing in a country park, it was interesting, hilarious at times. Some major fish in there. And since I was there, they've grown on and on. They're huge now. I had the most stunning zip linear out there. It must have been about 4 foot long. I think it was 36ish when I had it. It's now a 50 pounder. I can't even begin to imagine what that must look like at 50 pounds. But yeah, I've got to film that this afternoon and edit that tomorrow. I put something up every Friday on there, 2 o'clock. So that's my deadline. Got a bit of questions and answers to film, and this to edit as well. So I've got a bit of work to do. Well, that's it from the cage. And that's it from the island for this week. 1 fish, 20 pounder. Not a great return on 3 nights really, is it? Oh. But I tried. Had a go. Seen a few. Seen loads. I enjoyed that spring gates fishing up by the bridge there, like climbing on the bridge and watching them. That was good, but they just didn't hang around for too long. And I liked it in here, even though it's a little bit confined. A bit like being in prison, but it was nice to have the fish sort of close in and showing the first night. Last night was pretty dire. And this morning, different lake, dead flat calm. Looks like it's going to be a nice warm day. They're probably up near the surface, cruising about all over the place at the moment. They're certainly not down there eating what I'm offering. There's been hardly anything caught. I think there's been a couple caught up in the shallows in the Sailing Club Bay. But no, in general, very, very quiet. But there you go. It's been nice. Last cup of coffee, and then away. So that's it for another week. I'll see you next time. Ta-da.